Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on Eigen TV. I hope that you've been enjoying the Digital Twin series and the Decarbonisation series that we have recently uploaded onto YouTube. As always, if you've got any questions, please pop them down below and we will get back to you as quickly as we can. All information regarding Eigen can be found on the website at eigen.co. Again, and through the website, you can reach out to the team if you've got any information, if you'd like a product demo or anything like that. For today's video, though, I'm really excited because we're just embarking on a brand new series, and it's actually the Eigen Team Series. And the reason that we wanted to do this is actually to talk to different members of the team to understand what their role is within the business, why they've joined, and to really talk about maybe the industry itself and how you can get into it if you're just, maybe you're leaving uni, maybe you've got a career change, anything like that. And so today I've got the lovely Mary with us, and Mary's story is really interesting and something that I'm really excited to get into. And Mary is one of our front-end developers, and so really a topic that's very much close to my heart. So Mary, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited for our conversation, but what I would really love for you to be able to share with everybody, and I know it's something we've just spoke about before we started hitting record, is really, what you do for Eigen at the moment and what you were doing before you joined Eigen. That would be wonderful.
Okay, hi. So before Eigen, I did a computer science degree and then I went into marketing, digital marketing. Through the years, I decided I actually preferred the computing side or the digital side or working with code. I then upskilled and did a boot camp to, familiarize myself again with code and the different languages, and decided to make the transition to become a front-end developer. And I'm now front-end developer with Eigen. It's really exciting. I can honestly say I've enjoyed every step so far. And yeah, it was the best decision I ever made.
Oh, that's so lovely to hear. Let's talk a little bit about your journey before Eigen, because I think this is really important.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that we obviously want to do through the team series is hopefully encourage people to embark on different areas of their career and be brave enough to make those changes.
Yeah.
And a computer science degree, I know because I have a business IT degree, and that kind of fits into my world. And I've kind of done it the other way around. So I do digital marketing now with a very strong IT background. So it's great. So it's interesting because you've done it the reverse. So talk to me about what you were doing with digital marketing and what led to the changes and your desire to actually go into development.
And so at first it was marketing, and then I realized I preferred the digital side of marketing. So I enjoyed the social media aspect, the making up of banners, working with email campaigns, and that gave me the opportunity to work with HTML, CSS and things like that. Also updating websites for the company. Again, that gave me access to code again. So the digital side of marketing was really attractive to me, which then became so attractive that I decided I preferred everything digital, all code related, which led me to the journey of becoming a front-end developer.
And when you changed between doing from digital marketing to becoming a developer, did you upskill in any way? Did you take any extra courses?
Yes, so whilst working full-time as a digital marketing executive, I took on a boot camp, a part-time boot camp. So that required me to attend Tuesdays and Thursdays after work and Saturdays all day. And I did that for 24 weeks. Yes, I made sure I did it during the summertime so I didn't have to deal with the horrible winter weather of coming home really late. Yeah, so that was a plus. But yeah, it was, once you decide it's something you really want to do, the time that you spend doing it doesn't feel as long as it seems, because you're doing everything to go into the direction of what you love and what you enjoy. So even though when it was 24 weeks, it did really fly by, and it gave me the opportunity to upskill whilst working So, you know, I didn't know what I was going to get into, if it was the right path for me. So it gave me the opportunity to, you know, have a fallback plan of still remaining within marketing if it didn't work out or I didn't enjoy it. But luckily, I loved it. So it was the right decision and the right choice. So I was really happy about that.
So during bootcamp, what type of skills did you develop? What type of projects and things did you work on?
Version control, so that was a big topic. So that was working within our teams, working on our projects. So this was an opportunity for, you know, for the first time to work within a group, you know, working on different aspects of a project separately and then bring it together. And version control, we use GitHub. We use GitLab in Eigen, but we use GitHub whilst working in the team in the bootcamp. And that was really interesting because it, you know, loads of people working on different parts, things will go wrong. You know, you look at the site and it might be a different color and you're like, why is this suddenly changed color? And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we don't know. And then, you know, the version control helps you to track back and see what's gone wrong, see where the changes were made. That also helped me to introduce the review process. So nothing would be pushed directly to the project unless it was reviewed by at least 2 members of the team to make sure we, you know, things wouldn't break. And then we spend hours trying to figure out what went wrong or changing it back. So that was a good experience, because I think when you work in any developer role, you work with many people working on different sides of the project, and it's really important to know that if something's changed, it's not going to break the live project itself. So it was definitely a good experience. The different languages, JavaScript, all the front end.
And I think that's really important actually regarding GitHub, and something that I think a lot of developers are very much aware of is that when you're working on big projects, you're all working on different pieces of that project, especially if you're working in an agile way. And so it's really good practice to have that code then quality checked and assured before it's then moved into the main trunk and then applied to maybe the live project or rolled on later on to actually have that software released. So I think that's brilliant. And I love the fact that you had that training and those skills kind of polished during boot camp, because I think that gets you ready for the working world and very much the environment that you're probably going to be going into.
Yes.
If you were to now look forward into Eigen, how do you think, how much of the stuff did you learn at bootcamp do you actually use now? Because I know that we use GitLab within Eigen as well. So did it give you that confidence to kind of come into a development role and then be part of a team and then be able to make your contribution?
Yes, so using GitHub versus GitLab, it was very similar. So that was a nice transition. It was literally, to me, it was more just the name change rather than the functionality. So that was really helpful. So I was like, okay, that's fine. That's, you know, as it was. So that's good. Also, we did a lot of work with Git. So again, we use a lot of that in Eigen. So when I see some of the commands, they're very familiar to me. So that's very helpful. And of course we use Slack, which is, you know, amazing communication tool, especially working remotely. It's so easy to get hold of members of the team if I have a question, if I'm stuck, or if I just want to show or send a snippet of code. It's really helpful. So a lot of tools that we used in the bootcamp definitely transitioned into the role that I'm in now, that I use on a daily basis. So it has actually been, it was very helpful for me to attend the bootcamp and then come into a role as a front-end developer and we'll use a number of the same tools. So that was really good.
I think it's really important for everyone to also understand that Mary joined Eigen just before lockdown. So you've actually had to come into a company where you've had to adjust very quickly and form relationships with your team members, get to know the business as a remote worker, because we haven't obviously been able to work from the office. So how have you found that whole experience? Because I think that's really interesting, and the reason for it is because as we go forward, you know, remote working is becoming such an important way of doing things and building relationships. So it'd be great to hear your view on that.
And so my first week at Eigen was amazing because it's, you know, your first week. I got used to my desk. You know, I started, you know, bringing my little packed lunch and, you know, your little staples that you need for your day-to-day, whether it's tea bags. You know, I drink like herbal teas. So I was just like, oh, bought a pack, put it in a drawer. Probably still in the drawer right now, but that's fine. But yeah, it was really nice the first week. And I did get to meet a lot of the team, luckily, that first week. The rest of the team I'm still meeting and seeing during like internal meetings, which is great because everyone puts their camera on, you get to see everybody and you're like, oh, so you get to put a face and name. And I've noticed a lot of people are updating, like, you know, your Slack, you can put your image, so that's really helpful. And just general communication. I think Slack has made it really easy because I drop people a message if I have a question and they're always quick and happy to respond. So you don't feel like you're bothering anyone. Everyone's always happy to help. So it has been easy. I didn't expect to be working remotely, but it worked out quite well because obviously with the bootcamp, I had set up an office space to do my coding, so that was fine. So I had the setup already, so that wasn't a problem. But communicating with the team has been really easy due to the applications we have. So whether it's mainly Slack, which is helpful, and I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Yeah. So I'm able to get all the help and all the teamwork is still going on. We have our morning scrum meetings, so I feel like I talk to everyone very often. So it hasn't changed much. It's just the physical being in the same building, that's the only difference. But we've made that effort to still stay in constant communication, which has been really helpful.
Yeah. And I love that, by the way, because I remember when Scrum, this is how old I am now, Mary, but I remember when Scrum and Agile and everything were forming and coming into organisations, and nobody thought that it could be done remotely. Everyone thought that you needed to do your daily stand-ups and things in person and be able to look people in the eye. And fortunately, over the years, I've been able to run projects in both ways, so in person and also remotely. And because I've pretty much spent, you know, before my role here, but I spent 20 odd years in IT, and for a large chunk of that I worked remotely. And you're right, it was the comms tools that made the difference. That's how you built the relationships. And humanizing those comms tools by changing your profile picture, by using emojis, all of those kind of lovely things. You know, I used to get told off for using a lot of smileys in my emails. I still do it now, and I do it because I feel that humanizes what I'm trying to say, because you can interpret things in very different ways remotely. So it's really fascinating to hear that. What I also love, and I will touch upon this, is that having been in IT for such a long time, whether that's been in delivery, whether that was in project management, marketing, it didn't really matter. In a lot of cases, I was the only female in a very heavy male environment. And personally, it was fine. You know, I found I was completely comfortable. I had no issue with anything. I didn't even really sometimes notice that I was the only female in this environment because everyone was really welcoming. I love the fact that you have taken a step into an industry as a woman, that are jobs that we're only just starting to fill. And I think that's very, very reflective of our next generation. So kudos to you. I think that's just amazing. And really, I do. And, you know, because I've got, you know, huge big organisations at the moment that are, you know, advocating for women in tech and all sorts, because it's one of the less underrepresented industries. So what you're doing really is brilliant. If you were to give some advice to anybody who was coming into the industry and wanted to make that change, what would you say to them?
I would say for anyone coming into the industry to just do it. It's definitely an interesting, amazing journey. You will never stop learning. You think you've come to, oh, you've got it. There's still some more to learn, which makes it interesting. No day's the same. You know, there's bugs that will come up and you will work on them and you will get through it, and then you'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm amazing. And then there'd be tough ones where you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. But it's fine. It's all a part of, you know, it's all a part of the role, but you will really enjoy it. And the industry is really welcoming. There's so many WhatsApp groups, social media groups, YouTube channels, and free resources that will help you to get into the industry, whether it's just your foot in the door to understanding what it is you want to do. Because tech is so wide, there's so many options. But if you want to become a developer, whether it's front end, back end, or full stack, there's so many options for you now, and there's so many free resources. So even if you just want to see what languages you enjoy the most, there's just so many choices. I would just say, do it.
Okay.
You won't regret it. Everything will be great, and you'll be happy. Like me.
I love this. Yay! No, I love this, Mary. Thank you so much. And I think for anybody watching as well, it's you can take much inspiration from Mary's journey. And I think I wish you much success on your career. Really, it's an exciting path. And I know that when I started out on mine, you know, I didn't foresee that I would change my path or end up, you know, doing the things that I do now. In fact, the role I have now didn't exist when I first started on my career path. And you know, I will definitely say that it's a skill for life when you can pick up development as well, even though it will morph into something else and other languages will come out, and we have RPA developing and, you know, really cool software coming out, and you can contribute to open source projects. There's loads of things that you can do. But I think you're right. It's just go for it, try it. And I'm really pleased that you're part of the Eigen team. I'm really glad that you chose to start your journey here. Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much. And to anybody who's watching, as I said at the beginning, if you've got any questions or anything at all, please feel free to pop them below. Obviously, this video is on our YouTube channel, so feel free to share as well. But I'm really excited to share more conversations with members of the Eigen team with you over the next few days. So Mary, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been great.